Sketching the image of a graph under a sequence of transformations. For this Maths Methods question, we've been given a graph and a sequence of transformations, and we need to sketch the image graph. For the first transformation, we've got a reflection in the y-axis. A reflection in the y-axis means that if we have the original coordinates x, y, we're going to multiply the x coordinates by -1, and we're going to keep the y coordinates the same. Looking at this graph, we've got a vertical asymptote at x is equal to -2, a turning point at the coordinates 2, 3, and we've got an x-intercept at 0, 0, and at 4, 0. If we reflect this graph in the y-axis, then the vertical asymptote is now going to become the line x is equal to 2. The coordinates of the turning point is going to become -2, 3, and the x-intercepts are going to be at -4, 0, and at 0, 0. And so sketching this graph is going to look something like this. Then we have a translation 2 units in the negative direction of the x-axis, and so what this means is that all these new x coordinates are going to be shifted 2 units to the left, but the y coordinates are going to remain the same. And so doing this, we're going to get the vertical asymptote now becoming the line x is equal to 0, the turning point is going to be at -4, 3, and the x-intercepts are going to be at -6 and at -2, and so the graph is going to look something like this. And we also had a translation of 3 units in the negative direction of the y-axis. What this means is that we're going to keep the x coordinates the same, and we're going to subtract 3 from the y values. And so doing this, we're going to get these coordinates. Now, we're also assuming that there was a horizontal asymptote at the line x is equal to 0 on the right hand side. And so there's going to be a horizontal asymptote with the line y is equal to -3 when we translate these 3 units down, and this is not going to affect the vertical asymptote. And so sketching this graph, it's going to now look something like this. And finally, we had a dilation of factor 2 from the y-axis. What this means is that we're going to multiply all the x values by 2. And so we're going to get 2 times -x minus 2 and then y minus 3. And so changing the x coordinates and leaving the y coordinates the same, we're going to get these new points. And the asymptotes are not going to change. And so sketching the graph, passing through these points and approaching these asymptotes, we're going to get the image graph looking something like this. Just note that these sketches are not to scale, but we do have the right shape and the correct coordinates. Now let me know if this video helped, or comment if you have any questions.